What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. We have some huge news from the market today. Google stock is doing a 20-for-1 stock split. We have some other crazy earnings. The market is looking pretty good, and we have a great video for today. So stick with us to the end. Like I said, we have a lot of very big news to go over. Even UPS is up 14% today. So like I said, stick with us. But Tom, let's get right into today's video.
Yeah, the overall market did great today, especially at the end of the day with all these big earnings coming out. And Mike, I think that the main highlight of today was definitely Google's earnings. They did so well today. Like you mentioned, they had a 20-for-1 stock split, and we can see their stock is just flying up here in after hours. Now, I did just see a very strange print on the 1-minute candle. Expect some volatility here. Of course, these earnings go all over the place by the time the market opens the next day, but this has been such an explosive move. We almost got back up to $3,000 here. And overall, this is just, they reported such good numbers. Their EPS came in well above expected at 30.69 and versus a 27.34 expectation. And their revenue actually beat by about $3 billion, coming in at 75.33 billion versus a 72.17 billion expected. But yeah, it was just such a good day for them. They rocketed it up, and a lot of other stocks did pretty well today also.
There we go. And then, Tom, how about that 20-for-1 stock split announcement? That is crazy. So back, what was it, like a year ago now, or even a little bit over a year ago, Apple and Tesla had a couple stock splits, and that news really affected both of those companies in a very good way. So as we can see, the market's really liking this news about Google's announced split. Just one thing to keep in mind is that stock splits don't really change anything about the company. All it does is make the stock price lower and the shares outstanding larger. So really just it's easier for more investors to trade, and a lot of times more liquidity will be, I guess you can say, pumped into the stock. But besides that, the market is loving this news. So definitely keep GOOG on your radar tomorrow.
Yeah, and then they're also reporting a special dividend as well, Mike, aren't they?
Yes, I actually forgot about that. So they also announced news that they have a special dividend coming out. So basically, if you're a shareholder of Google, you will get a special dividend payment as like a bonus. So that's huge to see there. And then Tom, shifting over into another crazy moving stock today, we can't forget about UPS. This stock is up 14% today. So what's going on with this one?
Yeah, they reported some great numbers early in the morning. They really beat on their EPS there, and then they had some great revenue numbers also. But look at their stock on the daily chart. They had an amazing breakout up above that all-time high of $220, and they just had such an explosion. They closed up 14%. We can see they ended up gapping up on the chart in a pretty major way. And this stock is it's no stranger to gap ups. We can see that in the past, this stock has gapped up on earnings a few other times. So it's pretty insane to see the growth out of UPS ever since COVID came into play. I know that there's just been so much more online ordering and just packages going through the system in general, and it's just really helping out UPS. But this is just such an awesome chart to see. They are just such an amazing value stock over the past like 3 to 5 years. It's just been crazy.
Awesome to see that. And then we also can't forget about good old AMD, which is also just rocketing up in after hours. So, Tom, so far the earnings are looking pretty good today. But I remember the last time we made a video on Microsoft, the stock was down on their earnings report when we recorded, and then like a couple hours later, the stock was just skyrocketing. So definitely keep all of the plays we mentioned on your radar. But so far, stocks are looking really, really great. AMD is rocketing up to $128 a share. Their earnings were pretty good, and the stock's moving.
Yeah, AMD actually just bounced off that $100 support to end the week last week too. Like it's just been really moving up this week ahead of these earnings. And man, I cannot believe that they're at 127. I also can't believe that Google is all the way up there around 3,000. Like nobody expected this, I think, out of these companies. And even if they expected them to beat, I don't think that we expected them to rise this much. But I mean, wow, it's really nice to see that that these powerhouses are really doing well. And I think this is going to really help the overall market, Mike. Like, look at the SPY here in after hours. We're starting to really fly up. We broke out above $450 today, and we are approaching 455 here in after hours. It's starting to get pretty explosive. And look at the QQQ. This one's actually really breaking out up above this 365 resistance, and it's starting to really run. So yeah, as of right now, tomorrow's looking pretty hot, and AMD looks like they came in. They ended up beating on that EPS by quite a bit, and it looks like the chip shortages didn't hurt them as much as expected.
Here we go. So great news there. And then Tom, I know earnings have been wild so far, but what other major reports do we have for the rest of the week?
Yeah, we have a ton still coming up too. Tomorrow morning, we're going to have to look at AbbVie, ABBV. They've been moving a lot the past couple of years ever since COVID. And then tomorrow after close, we're going to have FB or Facebook/Meta reporting, and then Qualcomm and Spotify. I know Spotify has been in the news a lot lately with all of Joe Rogan's stuff going on. So looking at it, I mean, that's going to be an interesting one too. But man, I think Qualcomm might do pretty well with AMD up. I mean, they're both in that semiconductor sector. And then we have Meta. I mean, hopefully they report some good numbers too, being the metaverse.
Yeah, true that. And then we can't forget about Amazon and Ford on Thursday. And then even Snapchat on Thursday too. Unity, Penn, like we're set for a big week, and it's only Tuesday. So yeah, we have a big week ahead of us, guys. Definitely keep a lot of these stocks on your radar. And then Tom, I know that there's some pretty big news with Ford going on right now. So tell us more.
Yeah, Ford actually had some pretty good news, like you said, Mike, and they're reportedly planning to increase their EV spending by up to $20 billion over the next 5 to 10 years. Apparently, CNBC reports that the effort led by former Apple and Tesla executive Doug Field calls for Ford to spend an additional 10 to $20 billion over the next 5 to 10 years, converting factories worldwide, according to the report. So that's pretty good news. Anytime you hear news of companies investing in the EV sector, it has helped Ford and General Motors in the past. So hopefully this ends up helping Ford over the next couple of months. But, Ford does have earnings coming up. It looks like on February 3rd, later in the week. So we'll have to see how this ends up affecting it. But either way, I mean, it's always good to see these companies investing in the EV space. And we can see actually a lot of volume came into Ford whenever this came out today.
Awesome stuff. So that's the major news for today. So with that being said, let's get right into the momentum plays for tomorrow. And with the first one, we have Corsair to the upside.
Yeah, Corsair almost had a double top today. Go ahead and make them break out above $20.35. And I'm really happy that they broke $20 today.
All right, with the next one, we have CCL also to the upside.
Yeah, Carnival Cruise Lines. These cruise lines and airlines are starting to really run here. Go ahead and make them break out above 21.10.
All right, with the last one, we have Beyond Meat also to the upside.
Yeah, they had some good news last week with McDonald's, and go ahead and make them break out above $68.06. But this one's also moving quite a bit.
Alrighty, so we are watching Beyond Meat, CCL, and Corsair for potential day trades to the upside tomorrow, only if they break above the levels Tom listed. And then Tom, let's showcase that bot play from today. We can see the hybrid bot called out the Beyond 65 strike calls at $318 each early this morning, and a couple hours later they were trading for $425 each. So if you trade options, definitely check out that second link in the description down below for daily option swing trades, day trades, and access to an amazing community. You can cancel at any time, and our bot has been doing very well lately, so definitely check it out. Like I said, you can cancel at any time, daily option swing trades, day trades, and a lot more. But with that being said, Tom, do you have any last minute plays or updates before we end today's video?
The market is just starting to break out in such a major way. We're starting to really break out of that channel that we talked about earlier in the week, and it's just starting to really run up here. The SPY is getting pretty exponential, and obviously these stocks like Google are just straight up exploding. Like, whenever we get powerhouses announcing 20-for-1 splits like we are here, it usually brings in a lot of hype, at least a lot of volatility in the short term. So looking at it, I really hope that we continue to see some good movement out of some of these companies like Google and AMD heading into tomorrow. like you mentioned, a lot of these stocks lately have been running up or down in pre-market or after hours and then kind of falling off the next day. So I'm really hoping that AMD can keep up the momentum into tomorrow morning. But to be honest, I mean, it's already up like 10 to 12 points. I would be careful playing these. Earnings just happened. We just had this huge move, and it might end up consolidating a bit since we're up like 10% here.
There we go. So yeah, we're set for a very volatile week, with all of this crazy movement coming from these huge companies. So definitely be prepared for more volatility. And if you're looking for a tool to help you find which stocks are good buys or not, definitely check out that first link in the description down below. This is our brand new tool. Basically, you can type in any stock ticker and get access to 10 years worth of historical data, and you'll be able to know exactly why any stock is moving. It's a great tool. The prices will definitely be rising. We have some crazy things in the works for this dashboard. It works awesome. I use it every single day. And like I said, you could type in any stock ticker and instantly see how that company's doing. We're cheaper than our competitors, and every time we add an update or a new feature, it's completely free. Once you sign up, you're locked in for life, and it's only one payment right now. So definitely check it out. It's that first link in the description down below. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching.